This is Lori with Soul Sisters Digital Design. Thanks for chatting with us last week. I wanted to go ahead and get this video out to you to give you an idea of how your business is stacking up against your competition online, and also to give you some steps that you can take to improve things. So as Google crawls the web, it is really looking at three things: content, citations, and backlinks. So those are the things I'm going to talk about today. Now, content just refers to the words and images on your site. Google and other search engines, they like to see between 1,500 and 2,000 words, kind of at a minimum on the page, to give it a really good idea of what you do and where you are. Now, the exact amount is going to kind of depend on the competition and also the number of keywords needed. So what's a keyword? A keyword is really anything that someone might type into Google or another search engine looking for a particular service or product. So let's look at what a typical search might look like. So I went over to my browser and I typed in personal trainer Fernandina Beach. And as you can see, what comes up first is this map. We call this the map pack. The top three listed here get the most traffic because honestly, these maps are super easy to use. There's a lot of information kind of just right at the mouse tip. And the way to get in this top three is you have to have a Google business profile. You want to make sure it's filled out as completely and accurately as possible. You also want to make sure your name, address, and phone number is listed in as many relevant directories on the web as possible. So that's things like Yelp and Yellow Pages. But basically, the more times you have that happen, so name, address, phone number, in the exact same format, the more power it gives that profile. So every place you do that is considered a citation. The idea really is that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet, and the larger that online presence is, the more Google trusts you. And you are doing great because I can see that you are actually number 3. So that bodes very well for people being able to find you easily. Now below that is what we call the organics. Now in this case, organic just means not paid. Ideally, you want to be in the top 3 here as well. When you're in the top 3 of both, that's when you are part of kind of the majority. Represents about 93% of the traffic is going to go to those top 3 people. And you are actually number 2. This first result is FYT, Find Your Trainer, Personal Training. This is a directory. Lane's Fitness, however, is the first kind of true result that I would talk about. So he's just above you, and then it's you. Key Fitness Training is actually your about page. So good job on that. Now I do have your website pulled up here, and what I can see is that it looks great. It's very colorful, but very easy. Aesthetically pleasing. You've got some call outs here for what you do: personal training, online coaching, nutrition counseling. Really a call out here, a call to action for someone to read a little bit more about the number 1 reason they're stuck in the diet cycle, which is very obviously pertinent and on brand for you. When I put your website into a word counter, though, I can see that you're actually sitting at about 319 words, because that was really the end. That was all there was here. So there is obviously a good amount of room to be able to put more content in and utilize more keywords. Now, one of the things I do when I'm analyzing a site is I look at it from a back end. So this is a tool I use called Ahrefs. And in here, I can actually see that you're getting about 27 unique visitors per month. That is being driven off of 52 keywords. But when I drill down and look at these keywords, so just a quick note, once you get beyond, say, the 10th spot on any keyword, you're not really going to see any traffic. And I can see that for these top keywords that you have, you're obviously number 1 for Key Fitness and Keyfitness.com. You're number 3 for keyfitness.com. So all of that is really related to your name. Key to Fitness. You're number 13 for that. But once you get below 10, you don't really see resulting traffic. So if someone already knows who you are, so Key Fitness, they've heard of you, they're looking for you, that is actually, that's great that they find you, that they're searching for you and they find you, but You want to be found by people that have no idea who you are, but they're looking for the service you provide. So when I'm looking at these keywords, I want to look at things that are more buyer intent keywords. For example, this word right here, locker room etiquette, doesn't really tell me that someone who searches for that is actually looking for a personal trainer. Now, that word has a good amount of volume. It's 150 searches for that word alone. Now, you're number 19. It did get you one visit because of it, but this isn't something that I would say somebody is using to find a personal trainer. However, if I look at, say, personal training for seniors near me, I can see that that is being searched 70 times a month. But you're in position 44 for that, so it doesn't translate to any traffic for you. And if I scroll down, let's see if I can find one that's really not massage, anytime fitness. Most of these are not related to what you do. There's some gyms here. There's some no excuse. There's definitely some massage in here. But I'm not really seeing too much, except for maybe this, level 1 fitness training. That particular word is being searched 20 times a month. So it's not a very high volume, but even so, you're number 73, so it's not getting you any particular results. Now, in contrast, let's look at some of the other guy that's next to you. So Lane's Fitness. If I take a look at his site, this is his site. He doesn't have a ton more content, but he definitely has more pictures. He's actually got a good bit more content than you. If I look at him behind the scenes, I can see that he's not getting a ton of traffic though. But if you look at his keywords, his are a little bit more, gyms, Fernandina Beach, not so much. Starting Strength, Colorado Springs, see that would really apply. Planet Fitness, Amelia Island. So Fitness Coach Florida might be one. That's being searched 20 times a month. Now he's number 48, so that's not giving him any traffic either. But personal training packages, potentially personal training, Jacksonville FL. That I think would be a good keyword to try and rank for. That's being searched 40 times a month, but he's in the number 98 spot. So again, doesn't translate. The last one I wanted to look at was this, which is Peak Performance Amelia. You can see that they're not getting any traffic yet. They were being driven from 11 keywords though. And again, I think really the key takeaway for me for your niche is that there's not a ton of people utilizing buyer intent keywords. So that would be something I would definitely recommend. So someone say personal trainer, Fernandina Beach, you want to rank for that so that people will find you. And you are, but there's more to be able to look at. So just look at adding content and utilizing different keywords that you can think of that people are searching. Now, the last piece of the ranking puzzle is what we call backlinks. A backlink is just anywhere you find one website linking back to another via clickable or hyperlink text. Those links, again, act like an endorsement of your website from other businesses, and Google uses that to build trust, because it sees these other businesses vouching for you. Now, Google does judge those links, so it's not exactly like a popularity contest where the person with the most wins, because not all links are created equal. Those that are relevant to your industry are going to count more, as will those that are local. And ideally, they should also be powerful in their own right. So I can analyze that as well by looking back at this Ahrefs tool. And because backlinks aren't created equal, I can't really compare just the number or even the referring domains. Instead, I want to look at a way to compare apples to apples, and I do that through this backlink profile. So this tells me that for your overall domain, so all of the pages on your website, you're sitting at about a 0 for your backlink profile strength on a scale of 0 to 100. For your particular home page, you're sitting at about a 4. And if I look at the Lane's Fitness, got to go back to the overview. I can see that he's actually sitting for his entire domain at a 6, and he's at a 6 for his home page. So that's where he's beating you, is in the power to his page. And if I look at Peak Performance, they're at a 0, but they're at a 3.7 for their home page. But that gives you kind of a clue as to why this one gentleman is beating you. It's due to his backlinks. So once all those things come together, the content, the backlinks, the citations, that's when you begin ranking higher and higher and more customers find you. I hope this information was helpful. I know that we're meeting later on this week, so I will look forward to chatting a little bit more then. And I've got that research going to see what might be realistic for your business and what it might take to reach some of the goals that we talked about. Again, my name is Lori, Soul Sisters. Number is 352-235-9803. Thanks so much for watching. Love to hear your feedback.